අප සුසස්තල අතහැරලා පෞද්ගලික විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිහිල්ලා තමන්ගේ උපාධිය හදාගන්න.
Is actually having a massive impact on human endeavor and achievement.
We cannot compare them because success is an individual specific decision and it depends on many different factors.
We need people like you.
Suhansa, Nanayakkara. The topic is impact of skipping GCE A Levels and doing a degree in Sri Lanka.
GCE A Levels නැත්නම් අපසුසස්තල කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ ළමයි මොන වෙන තරඟකාරීන විභාගයේ කියලා මම හිතන්නේ. සෑම වසරකම ළමයි 3,50,000ක් පමණ මේ විභාගයට පිණි සිටිනවා. නමුත් රජයේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයකට යන්න අවස්ථාව හිමි වෙන්නේ ඉන් 35,000කට පමණයි. ඒ කියන්නේ 10ක් 15ක් අතර ප්‍රමාණයකට විතරයි. මේ නිසාම අපසුසස්තල ඉතාම තරඟකාරී මෙන්න පීඩාකාරී විභාගයක් බවට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ සීමිත අවස්ථාව නිසා බොහෝ ළමයි දැන් වෙනත් විකල්ප මාර්ග හරහා තමන්ගේ උසස් අධ්‍යාපනය හදාරන්න පෙළඹිලා තියෙනවා. ඉන්නේ ප්‍රධාන විදිහක් තමයි අපේ සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ විභාගයට පෙනී සිටියෙන් පස්සේ අප උසස් පෙළ අතහැරලා පෞද්ගලික විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිහිල්ලා තමන්ගේ උපාධිය හදාරන එක. නමුත් සමාජයේ මේක තාම ගැටලුකාරී තත්ත්වයක්. එයාට ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා මෙහෙම උසස් පෙළ අතහැරලා උපාධියක් කරන එක හොඳද නරකද ජොබ් මාකට් එකේ මේක පිළිගැනීමක් තියෙනවද කියන එක ගැන. So the purpose of this research is to find out whether it's a good idea to put your time and effort into sitting for GCE A Levels, or would it be wiser to skip GCE A Levels and do a private degree in Sri Lanka? And also to find out whether there are any implications by doing so. So I did this research within the Colombo district due to three main reasons. Firstly, most of the students who skip GCE A Levels and do a private degree live in Colombo. Secondly, most of the private universities are located in Colombo. And lastly, I did this during the pandemic, so I had to live in Colombo. I collected data using two methods. Number one was an online questionnaire which was open for everyone above 18 years. And the second one was having interviews with focus groups. And I had 6 focus groups. And each focus group had a separate set of questions. Students who are sitting for GCE A Levels, students who skip GCE A Levels with a private degree, parents of both student groups, academics and industry experts. So after gathering data from them, I was able to summarize them up into a few points. 64% of the parents said that they want their kids to sit for GCE A Levels because it helps their children to build the discipline that takes to work hard in order to achieve a goal. And they also said that it's a waste of money to do a private degree when you can get one for free in a state university, although it's time consuming. 28% of the parents did not want to send their kids to state university because of protest, ragging, because it's very time consuming, and also because of the amount of stress a kid has to go through. 8% of the parents were not sure as to which option will be better. So considering the students, 54% of the students said that they want to sit for GCE A Levels because that helps them to completely finish their school education, and they were not feeling very comfortable to skip it. Whereas 40% of the students said that they prefer to skip GCE A Levels because it's very time consuming, and they also said that spending 2 years in this highly competitive examination did not feel like it. And they also said that by skipping GCE A Levels, they can complete a degree much faster and they can get into their career paths quickly. And also, 6% of the students were not aware that skipping GCE A Levels and doing a private degree was possible. Now, when I interviewed academics, they said that there is no, we cannot say as to which student will be more successful. And they also said that the student success rate does not depend on whether you have done GCE or not. And they also said that students who skip GCE A Levels and who are going to do a private degree must put more effort when they are doing their foundation course. They also believe that the foundation courses must be improved. The industry experts that I interviewed said that when they get a candidate, they do not consider whether they have done GCE or not, because either way, both of them have completed a degree. What really matters is their performance and the suitability for the job role. Now, considering all these data, what I was able to understand was that doing GCE and skipping GCE both have their own advantages and disadvantages. So we can't take two students from these two different paths that I have mentioned and compare them and come to a conclusion as to which one is more successful, because success depends on a variety of factors. The industry experts that I interviewed also mentioned that they have star performers who skipped GCE A Levels and who did GCE A Levels. And at the same time, they have low performers who did GCE and skipped GCE. So whether it's a graduate from a private university or a state university, we cannot compare them because success is an individual specific decision and it depends on many different factors, such as their personality, their personal skills, their interests, their maturity, their opportunities, and so on. Thank you.
He is the Group Director of NTU, Mr. Shevan Daniel, a well-known figure in Sri Lanka, who today sits as the board of the Capital Maharaja organization, one of the Sri Lanka's largest and the diversified conglomerates. And Mr. Shevan Daniel has been twice selected as Sri Lanka's under 40 outstanding young business leaders and was the winner of the Junior Chamber's Most Outstanding Young Person of the Year's Award in 2008. He is well known for his role in Gammadda, an award-winning rural development movement. I'm pretty sure you all know him. Over to you, Mr. Shevan Daniel.
Good evening, everybody, and everyone. Suhansa, it's a pleasure and an honor to have read your research paper. In your introduction, you have begun by saying that you dream or have dreamt of becoming things that range from a chef to a writer, a designer, a lorry driver, we share something in common, okay, and a politician. I think today it is far more honorable to become a lorry driver, but I would encourage you to keep dreaming of becoming a politician because we need people like you and the other youngsters here in politics to take our country to the next step. Reading Suhansa's research paper at home, I was struck by how incredibly insightful the paper was, despite the obvious challenges you had gone through in collecting data. And my wife, who's also a researcher, went through it and she kept asking me, how old is this kid? Because I wanted her feedback as well. So well done, incredible work. The piece of research that Suhansa has done involves something that I'm very, very interested in myself. And my colleague Chandan and I have been discussing this quite a lot. Chandan Surya Bandar, everybody knows who he is. And that is the loss or the disregard of focus and attention in this day and age. Our focus and attention is being stolen from us. And something that I noticed is that the fact that young people sometimes tend to skip the rigors of those 2.5 or 3 years that you spend doing your A Levels can take away that discipline and that mental rigor that you require further on later on in life. And one of the key findings in recent reports is the fact that this loss of focus and attention is actually having a massive impact on human endeavor and achievement. For example, the latest research suggests that human attention span has dropped to as low as 8 seconds. That's lower than a goldfish. So with an attention span of 8 seconds, what can we hope to achieve? On average, office workers check their emails 7 to 7 times. I was looking at the room, and you guys aren't that bad because most of you weren't checking your phones during this whole period. But on average, people check their phones very often, at least once in 5 minutes. So what happens is, not only are you losing attention on what you're doing, but when you go back, you're not at the same level in which you were. So I think the period that you spend doing your A Levels is incredibly important. The pros and the cons, obviously you've articulated that quite well, but what I would recommend to you is, since you've now begun this work, expand it to include human psychology and expand it also to include data from other nations. For example, there are examples like from nations like Israel, for example, where students go to university after spending about 2 years in the military. I'm not suggesting we do the same in Sri Lanka, but Israel, with just a population of 7 million, is one of the most successful nations on earth. So is there something different that they are doing that we can perhaps also use over here in Sri Lanka? So congratulations, fantastic work, and Nalaka, you're doing a wonderful job. All the very best. Thank you.